For finding domain of a function, there's two main rules, and that is we're not going to use complex numbers, so there's no square root of negatives. And the other is you can never divide by 0, so the denominator cannot be equal to 0. So let's work with the first one. So no square root of negatives means that x needs to be bigger than or equal to 0. Equal to 0 is okay because the square root of 0 is equal to 0. So that's all right. So we need x to be bigger than or equal to 0. All right, that just takes care of the square root. We've also got the idea that you can't divide by 0, which means that the denominator, square root of x minus 2, cannot equal 0. And then solve for x. So you can solve a non-equality just like an equality. Add 2 to both sides. And then square both sides to get rid of the square root. Okay, so with this it's saying, if you look on a number line, that x needs to be bigger than or equal to 0, so that would be going this way, but then the 4 has to be thrown out. So you can put an open circle here to throw out the 4, and then shade to the right. Well, there's a graphical interpretation. Shade to the right forever. But we really should write this as intervals. So starting with 0 and including 0, so use a square bracket, go up to 4, and then throw out the 4. So this gets as close as you want to 4, but never actually equal to it. That's what the round parenthesis says. Then on this side, start at the number 4 and go to the right forever. Infinity. And there is the domain. And then we can take a look at the graph to check it. So if you graph the original function, x gets divided by, and then I should put it in parentheses, the square root of x minus 2. And then look at the standard viewing rectangle. We should see the graph. Well, it looks like the graph is way up here and way down there, so I need to adjust the y values. Change the window and have this go to, say, -30 to +30. And so, sure enough, when x is negative, there's nothing. So it starts at 0, and then what happened right here at 4, if I trace and try to put in a 4, it says the y is nothing. The function is undefined. And so it's got what's called an asymptote at 4.